Gamers, what's up? I'm back. I'm gonna make a video today talking about another new video game. I want to make another review because the Doom video did pretty well, and I'm kind of shocked at how little pushback there was to that. There wasn't a whole lot of people really getting super mad in the comments, which is pretty rare on these videos. These are usually pretty. I have some hot takes on some of these, so I don't know, but yeah, I wanted to talk about Nightreign. Now, as you might remember, if you've been here for a little bit, I made a video a couple months ago back when the network test was going on, where I told everyone, yeah, I've been playing this, I've been in the network test, the beta, and I did outline some issues with it. And for the most part, I thought the beta was really fun, and I'm glad to say that the actual base game is pretty fun in my opinion, but there are some issues. But most notably, I do want to say that they really did fix the lag issue I was having in the server, or the beta. Sorry, it's a little late. If I fuck up some of my words, I'm sure I always do, but I might fuck up some right now because it's like 3 a.m. and I want to make this video. But yeah, they did fix the network issues. The combat is smooth as fuck. This game feels great to play. It's just like regular Elden Ring. It doesn't have any of that super bad latency that I was worried about. It actually does play very smoothly, so I'm glad I can say that is a definite W. Gameplay is still Elden Ring. It's great. It's definitely improved from the beta, at least in my case. I don't know if that was really like a widespread issue or not, but it was very laggy for me in the beta. But no, it's completely fixed. And now I want to actually talk about the game. I'll talk about the entire game because I have done every single Night Lord. I did them yesterday. Or I did the last one yesterday. I have about 60 hours in the game as I'm recording this, and I'm going to have even more tomorrow and the next day probably, because I do want 100% this game. I'm going to get all the cosmetics and items and everything, which I'm not really super close to, but on my Xbox I only have 3 achievements left, and I'm in the middle of doing all the remembrances and shit, so fair to say, I think I have good grounds to review it because I have done pretty much almost everything you can do in the game, and I will be finishing it up soon. But I've done a lot. I've played this game to death and back in the last week, and I am impressed, but I'm also not impressed. This is a very divisive game currently. This game is not, you can have an opinion on this game, and it'll really just be wrong regardless of what it is. People are going to hate your opinion of whether you like it or hate it. So I do want to say right off the bat, I like this game, but damn, it does have a lot of issues. The revive mechanic is one of the worst in any video game I've ever played. The basic just convenience features, like being able to leave an expedition, just aren't there. The game is needlessly frustrating in a lot of points. The loot, the actual like stat bonuses and shit you get are not very rewarding. They're kind of just bad. There's not really a whole lot of incentive to get a lot of them because they're just very bland or minuscule. A lot of the combat and communication is miserable. Like, playing with randoms is truly miserable because the game does not have any built-in voice chat. I don't know why the fuck it does not have built-in voice chat or any way to communicate with your teammates. No text chat even. It's just, that is insane to me. That is one of the stupidest decisions in any game development process I maybe have frankly ever seen. I'm just absolutely dumbfounded why they wouldn't add voice chat. Because this is a game that you need to communicate. I've had a couple runs with randoms that have went well because I'm a pretty good player, but for the most part, playing with randoms is just absolutely miserable. It is terrible. This game is very weird though, because when you're playing with randoms that you just can't, I'll phrase it like this: when you're playing with people that you can't talk to that are random, It goes from, you know, a really solid experience to down to like a 3 out of 10. Very frustrating, very needlessly difficult, artificially difficult, because you just can't talk to them, you can't communicate. But when you're playing with LFG people that you can talk to in an Xbox party, or you're talking to like your friends or some shit that actually like you can communicate with, it's great. I would say it's probably like an 8 out of 10 experience, because it is just really, really, really fun. Which, I mean, I expected that, but it is Elden Ring's gameplay. Elden Ring is a very fun game. The roguelike elements transfer pretty well into Elden Ring, but like I said, the upgrades are a lot of the times just not very exciting, which is an issue that they can easily fix. But yeah, that's my very basic thoughts out of the way. I think it's a fun game, but it does have a lot of issues. Back to what I said about that revive mechanic. That revive mechanic is truly just a bastard. It takes like 15 hits to revive somebody. It is just miserable. I don't know why it is so just needlessly frustrating as a mechanic, but maybe that's just me that thinks that. But yeah, I hate it. There's a couple bugs I've encountered, nothing like super major or anything. And I think the broad stroke story is just kind of fine. But it is Elden Ring, you're not really usually playing it for the story. I think the lore is decent. There's some of the Remembrance stuff is pretty cool, but it's nothing like Dark Souls, or, you know, it's nothing even really like base game Elden Ring, where the quests are like super interesting or anything. You're mainly playing this game for the roguelike, you know, gameplay, the combat and everything, which is good. If you're playing with people you can communicate, is even great, I would say. I think that the different characters are really fun to use. I like Duchess the most. Duchess is really fun to use. And I'm playing a game right now, I'm playing as Wilder. Wilder is also very fun to use. And the cosmetics, you can actually get a bunch of different skins. Fuck, man. You can actually get a bunch of different skins this time, you know, since it's a FromSoft game. You actually can earn the skins with in-game currency. It's not like, you know, Destiny or anything like that, where you have to buy a lot of the cool transmog skins. These you can earn through currency you get by doing runs, and yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of like meaningful content here. There's 8 expeditions, which each have a Night Lord boss at the end of them, which is the big boss, which I want to comment on, because I think that the Night Lord fights are amazing. I think the Night Lord fights are, for the most part, amazing across the board. There are some bad ones, though. I think that Augur sucks. I don't like Augur. That fight is just miserable. It's just, you know, if you're not playing a ranged character, it is the most boring shit in the world. And I think Sentient Pest also kind of has that problem. Not as bad, though, because there is a scorpion you can fight, but yeah, I'd say probably, other than those exceptions, I think the bosses are all great. I think especially there's a fight on the Equilibrious Beast expedition. His name's Libra. Has to be one of my favorite fights probably in all of the Souls games. It is genuinely an awesome fight. I don't care. I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not, but I mean, the music is amazing. It's just the entire vibe. It's also a very difficult fight. Yeah, this game gets pretty difficult with some of the Night Lords, but I really just like how it feels. It's like a big Destiny raid, or like a big MMO raid boss at the very end. Everyone needs to kind of work together with DPS strategies and everything. It's awesome. I really do like the Night Lords in this. You know, especially if you're actually being able to talk to people, you can get reactions, you can know where to go and everything. And I think that's great. I think that's really fun. I do think this is a fun game. I want to stress that. I don't think I like it as much as the new Doom, which I'm really shocked that there wasn't more people commenting about how, you know, there might be a bad take or something on my video. I think it had a couple dislikes, but I mean, nothing really crazy. But I stand by that. I love the new Doom. I like this too, but I like it at a lesser degree because there is really just so many problems. Especially just I cannot stress enough, playing with randoms is, for the most part, miserable. You'll have some decent runs occasionally, but playing with randoms that you just can't communicate with at all is miserable. I hate that. I really, really, really hope they add a voice chat option. That'd be great. Um, but yeah, I guess that's about it. The story, like I said, is just kind of a story. There's nothing really crazy. The remembrance quests are okay, but for the most part, you're playing this to have fun. You're playing this to see the ending with all the Night Lords. It's just kind of another installment in the Elden Ring, series of stories. I know we have Shadow of the Erdtree, and then we have this and base Elden Ring, of course. It's just a good chapter. It's just fun. I really do think this is a pretty fun game. Like I said, there are a lot of problems, but I think that the problems, I want to say that the problems outweigh the good in a lot of these, just because there's so many problems with how this game was developed, with just the no communication and the revive mechanic. A lot of it just feels like sloppy. A lot of it kind of just feels like you're doing the same expedition over and over sometimes. But I really, I don't know. There's something keeping me from saying that, because this game just kind of is really fun to me. Maybe it's because I am such a freak for Elden Ring. I am one of the biggest Elden Ring glazers of all time. I think Elden Ring is one of the best games ever made. Maybe it's because of that I'm so, like, forgiving of this game. But I would probably give this like a 6.3, like a 6.2, 6.3 out of 10. Just because there are problems, like I said, but I mean, it's just so fun to me. I don't know. It is just so fun. I think the Night Lords are awesome. I think when you're playing with people you can talk to, it feels like a raid, and I love that feeling. I think it's great. I don't know. There's, like I said, that there is not a whole lot of meat on the bones, other than, if you're not someone that goes for 100% completion like I am, because I'm just a freak of nature. I'm just built different with gaming. If you're not someone like that, then this game will be over very quickly. You can defeat the 8 Night Lords probably in around like 20 hours at most, if that's all you're doing. So it's not a long game. There's not a whole lot of like shit here for those type of people, but for completionists, there's a decent amount of meat on here, just because you'll be playing it so much for all the cosmetics and the achievements, and you're going to be seeing all the shifting earths, which I think are cool. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that's about it. This is about 13 minutes of very unorganized rants about how I feel about Nightreign. But I gotta be honest about it. I like it, but it does have a lot of problems. The good news is a lot of the problems can be fixed. I don't think that this is like some sort of asset flip or anything. It definitely is not like that. I watched Dreamcast Guy's video, which Dreamcast Guy is just kind of, I don't know, he's kind of annoying, and his video, he's calling it an asset flip. He hates it. I can definitely see how people can hate this. It does feel very, very different from what FromSoft usually does, but I kind of like the new direction, honestly. I like this. I think it's fun. And it definitely, if you aren't happy with it, at least how it is right now, I think most people can acknowledge that this kind of concept definitely does have potential for the Souls-like genre, this sort of series. And yeah, I like it. I don't know, man. I can't explain really why I like it so much. I think it's just the feeling that a lot of these bosses give me. Like it's a big like MMO type thing. I don't know. I really enjoy that, and I think the bosses are so good. I think a lot of the expeditions can be super fun, even if a lot of them are kind of the same things. The shifting earths do at least change that up a little bit. But this is one of those games where I really can't explain why I like it. I just kind of do. I don't like think it's like a masterpiece or anything, like I've said. I just think it's fun. Yeah, but that's probably going to be about it for this video, boys. I appreciate if you've watched it this long. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.